Okay, well, I'll jump into the experience that I have to share. Um, it started out where I was looking down at the personal self, and it was swimming in an ocean, and there was no land around. It was just a great, great big ocean, as sort of represents creation, as we've discussed before. And I'm looking at myself, and I'm swimming, and I got my head above the water, and all this stuff, and I'm there. Well, all of a sudden, I come down with my awareness into the body, because again, I was in a bird's eye view. So once I'm in the body, I dip my head beneath the water, and what I see is very clear to me. And what was an interesting detail is that when I dip my head underneath the water, even though from above the water looked very, very clear, very blue, very sort of like pristine, an idea like that. It had this idea or like appearance. When I went below the water, it became very murky. I could still see, but it was green, like swamp water. And when I'm underneath the water, what I see again is very clear. I see this pope, either a pope or a priest, some character or figure. He's wearing, the white robe, and he's got the big cross kind of sash, I guess it is. That hangs over both shoulders. It's got the big old cross on it. Well, he's there, and what's very interesting is he has a chain wrapped around his whole body, right? And he has this chain wrapped around his whole body, and this black tentacle coming from the ocean, somewhere in the ocean, and it's wrapped around him. And it's very interesting because he's suffocating, and he's struggling, and he's screaming. He's kind of yanking at the chain, and this tentacle's kind of constricting around him. And he looked a lot like, if you guys ever seen any of the Star Wars, or not any, but one of the Star Wars movies, I don't remember which one. It's the older gentleman where that famous saying comes from, "Oh, execute Order 66." He looks very wrinkly, kind of shriveled old man. That's how the Pope or priest or pastor looked. And what was very interesting as I was looking at this, I mean, this is stuff we go over about the religious worlds, them being very restricted and seeing what they're connected to. But another interesting view that came was, if he has the chain and all this stuff wrapped around him, in a way he's sinking, but the tentacle not only is going to pull him down, but it's right now holding him up. It was very interesting that I was seeing that they elevate these people into these positions because they're willing to be used. They're willing to be utilized in that way, And so I just wanted to share that little experience. And I was also going over it in a way to where trying to see if, even though it's a representation of what goes on sort of under the surface, right? Because from the top it looks a certain way, but when you go under the surface, also if it's a part of myself being agreeable to that position, being agreeable with the religion programs. Is that why I was seeing it? So just wanted to share that.